Hey, gorgeous people, let's get right into it. So tomorrow I'm taking a daycation to Atlanta. And I know most people be like, why are you taking a daycation? Like, what is a daycation? So it's really just a trip to another place for just literally the day. And as you know, or maybe you don't know, I do have an Instagram page where I do post flight deals and stuff like that. Currently, I post deals flying out of Cleveland, Atlanta, JFK, LGA, and EWR, which is New Jersey or Newark, New Jersey area. And I post deals all the time, cruise deals as well. So if y'all not following me on Instagram or Facebook, make sure y'all check me out over there. But back to it. So I was searching for deals to post on Instagram, and I came across this deal for a $51 flight from Cleveland to Atlanta for a week trip or something like that. And I didn't necessarily need a week. I was just looking for something to do on Saturday because I had nothing to do. So I was like, let's see what we can make happen. So I played with the dates, and I actually came across this particular flight here for $51 for me to leave first thing in the morning. So I'm leaving at like 7:55 or something like that. And then I'll be back Sunday morning, technically, at 12:30 a.m. And that'll be my daycation. So the goal here is not to spend more than $100. Not more than $100, y'all. So that includes the flight, the food, my activities that I'm doing in Atlanta. That is the challenge. I'm going to try my best to stick to it. So as you can see, we got $100. Then we got $51 for the flight. So now I'm left with $49 for my expenses once I get down to Atlanta to eat and do some activities. I think I'm going to be able to do it. We're going to see. But I've taken trips like this before when I was a flight attendant and just kind of hung out really and just went to lunch and seen like those particular locations, downtown areas. So I've never did it to an extent of making sure I do activities and things like that. So we're going to give this a shot and see how well I manage. I think I can do it though. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that this is my first time ever flying Spirit, y'all. So I'm kind of nervous, which is why I'm packing or getting ready to pack. Which is why I'm packing, because I always hear like horror stories about flying on Spirit. And if I get delayed extremely for lengthy periods of time, or if it end up just keep delaying and then cancel, then I want to be prepared to be able to have a change of clothes for the next day. So that's why I'm packing just a light bag, even though I will be back in the same day technically. So that's what I'm doing now. And what I thought was pretty interesting with Spirit is the fact that I found a ticket for $51. So you really can't beat that, but you can. So stay tuned. I'll show y'all how I actually got the flight a little bit cheaper than the $51. But what I thought was interesting, after I got my ticket, I started getting like the different emails saying, you know, your flight is coming up, and if you want to purchase like a seat and everything like that. So they have this, I guess, bidding auction. Not I guess, I know they have it because I got the email. But they have where you can bid on seats, and then it has like a minimum, which was about $7 when I originally got the email, and then they have a maximum amount, as you can see here on the screen grab, where you can just bid however much you want, or you can pay a particular price right now and get that and know that you're going to get that seat. So what I find interesting is that you can get your flight as cheap as $51, and then they're still going to hit you with all these fees on the back end, because their business model is essentially everything is a la carte, and they will get their money back if you think about it, because these seats can go as high as like $82 for you to bid on the seat, or get like these the big front row seats and stuff like that. So this is all a new experience for me. So I'm personally not going to buy a seat or bid on the seat, because we got to stay in this budget. We can't go past this $100 and get in a seat. We ain't doing that. So we're going to keep whatever seat they end up assigning me. I continue to get my like check-in emails and stuff like that. They have more and more things that you can purchase, whether it was buying Wi-Fi for the flight. That, mind you, I'm going from Cleveland to Atlanta, so this flight is only 2 hours. And this first thing in the morning. I personally probably am going to go to sleep. But to each his own. So you can buy the seats, you can buy the Wi-Fi, they had a few other options. I'll make sure that I got the screen grab here going so y'all can just see the different stuff that they are offering. So you get people in the door with the cheap seats or the cheap ticket, and then you recoup everything on the back end, because when you're looking at these prices, it's like, oh, that's not that much. I'll pay $6 for Wi-Fi. I know I want to be on my phone, whatever the case may be. So you get people to buy that, and it doesn't seem like it's that much at the time, which it may not be. However, when you start to bid on the seat, and then, mind you, I have to bid on the seat there and back, and then you have to buy the Wi-Fi there and back. So these prices start to add up. And if you're going here to get a budget deal, you might just come out spending more here on Spirit than you might have been able to get a cheaper flight on a major airline where all this stuff actually already comes included in your ticket. So I would suggest, if you are flying Spirit, just kind of watch that. That was the first thing that I noticed, because everything had a cost. Everything literally has a cost here at Spirit, from the bags, and hence, we're not checking no luggage. This is going to be my personal bag, so it won't even include like a carry-on bag, because they do charge you for that. So that alone, I know the checked luggage is like $35, $40 or something crazy like that each way. So that in itself is about $80 just to put your bag underneath the plane. So you have to think about that stuff when flying on some of the budget airlines. Like, how much is it really going to cost you to get on this flight?
When I got to the airport, I actually pulled up the app to check the carry-on and check bags, and it was a lot higher than what I thought it was, as you can see here. This is crazy for the bags.
From making all of these additional a la carte purchases, or if it's just things that you will actually need, like checking the bag or getting your carry-on bag paid for. So make sure y'all just kind of pay attention to that. So now I'm going to show you how I got this flight for less than $51. When I tell y'all, it's really simple. And this is the only airline that I know you can do this with. Everybody else, I've never seen it done. I've even asked before and I was told no. But it's real simple. Just look what I did to get my ticket for $31, y'all. $31. So that was $20 saved. So now we can add my $20 back to my budget. So now we back up here. So I'm winning. Now. Now I got $69 to spend when I get down to Atlanta. Gorgeous people, today is Daycation day, and I'm so excited. What makes me sleepy, because I didn't go to sleep till about 12 a.m. Woke up at 4. It's now 5:25 a.m. But we're going to make it a great day. Today, it's all about timing to make this a successful trip. So we are going to head out to the airport. So I have made it to Atlanta. It's like 10:35 now. I'm waiting on my cousin to come pick me up. We landed at like 10 o'clock, but after deplaning and getting on the air train to get to ground transportation, that took quite some time. But my first thought of Spirit, it wasn't terrible. My first stop was the Delta Museum, which I enjoy being able to see how Delta grew as a company, and really just taking in the time to see how we evolved overall, just with the different aircrafts and how they're designed, was really cool to see. They also had different things that you can participate in, or activities, I should say, that you can do in the museum. For instance, this cool little activity where you can kind of essentially fly the plane was nice to play around with. And then they had this flight simulator where it gave you commands as if you were the pilot. You could either do the option of landing or taking off. Next up, we headed over to one of the planes just to see the inside of it. And it was one of their older planes. And then it showed like the history of the different uniforms and what things meant. So I would definitely suggest checking out the Delta Museum.
I found it very interesting for sure. Now it's time to get some lunch, and I ended up just getting a chicken sandwich that was really good, and I was happy that my cousin paid for my lunch to help with my budget. Next stop was the Civil and Human Rights Museum, but in this area you will also find the Coca-Cola Museum and the aquarium. So if you're here, with all of them being right in the same little circle, I would definitely recommend checking them out, because once you pay for one parking, you have access to all three. But we're gonna head over to the Civil and Human Rights Museum. I would say this was really interesting to see. It took me back to a place where I didn't get to necessarily experience because of my age. So to just see some of this information and read about it was sad, but interesting to understand where we are as a country today. So I would definitely recommend this place. You can definitely spend about 2 to 3 hours here because it's just so much information. Now at my last stop, which is at Ponce Market, we're gonna check out what stores they have, the different restaurants. Then I'll be heading back to the airport. Now, this is outside of the Ponce Market, but there is like a really long path of just stores and restaurants that you can check out. We didn't go that far because clearly I did not have that much time, but this was a really nice path to walk, to do exercise, and I've seen a lot of people running and biking. I would highly recommend this area just because it seemed to be the place that you want it to be, and it was just lively. I really love this area. It's time to head back to the airport. Atlanta, it has been fun. The airport wasn't even crowded. I got through security in less than like 45 seconds because it was so empty. So thank you. I must say that my daycation was definitely a success. I did everything that I wanted to do here in Atlanta. The flight on Spirit actually wasn't that bad. The plane was clean. They even had like some, I want to say maybe intermission type music. So anytime like the flight attendants weren't speaking on the PA system while people were boarding, they had music playing, and it was the same experience when we were deplaning, which is the first time that I've heard that on a plane. So that was new. So kudos to them for that. The things that they were missing wasn't too much of like a concern for me because I was only on the aircraft for about 2 hours, and technically I was asleep the entire flight. So not having a TV, not having outlets, wasn't really an issue. Granted, the seat didn't recline, but it wasn't so stiff of a seat where it was like you were just upright and it was really uncomfortable. So
I would definitely consider doing another daycation on Spirit, as long as the price is right. Obviously, like $31, it really wasn't a decision that needed to be made. As long as I stick to the plans that I had this time, which was making sure that I only had a carry-on bag. I didn't do any of the additional a la carte options, far as bidding on seats or even just purchasing a larger seat or a seat in the front of the plane. I didn't add Wi-Fi, or they even had like some security shortcut option in Cleveland that you could have done. So I didn't do any of that. So it kept my ticket price as low as possible, which was the best outcome possible. Granted, me having family here in Atlanta definitely helped me with my expenses, so I didn't have to worry about Ubers or Lyfts or renting a car and then obviously putting gas and stuff back in it. So let's see if I made it under budget. I'm gonna do some quick tallying here. Remember, my budget was $100 total. That included food, that was the plane ticket, and my activities down here as well. And I did come under budget, so I was really happy with that. Granted, it wasn't like I saved a ton for my budget, but all that counts was that I still came under budget. So I would definitely do another daycation. If you all do a daycation, drop some comments below. Let me know cities or a particular state that you think I should maybe try to do a daycation in, and I would love to do that. If you have any tips or tricks, let me know. I'm happy to hear. But my day is not over. So definitely stick with me. I'm going to catch this flight. My plane leaves at 10:35 p.m. I should be back in Cleveland around like 12:15, no later than 12:30. And then I have something else going on once I land. So I'll see you guys soon.
Real quick, I just wanted to show you all how much it costs for some of the snacks and water, chips, candy that they had on their app. And this is the stuff that you can buy in flight. And when I say these prices are sky high, they are sky high because we're in the sky with this one at this point. So just check that out.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, I am back home. Now it's time for me to head to my aunt and uncle's house. I'm going to go there, shower, sleep for a little bit, and then I have to head off to Columbus because my little cousin has a competition, a gymnastics competition again. So we are going to drive there this early morning, late night, however you want to look at it. She has to be in Columbus by 7:30. It's now probably like 12:15, 12:20 or so, like that. So it has been a journey in Atlanta. I'm so happy that everything went on time. Spirit flight was good, no complaints with that. So stay tuned. Now we are headed to Columbus. All right, so this is my last journey on this long, now 2-day experience. I'm headed to Columbus. It's like 5:30. So I will see y'all when I get there. I'll show y'all just a little bit of her gymnastics stuff and let y'all know how she ended up doing. All right, gorgeous people. So I have made it back home. It's like 4:50 on Sunday. Boy, I tell you, it has been a journey, but it has been an exciting one. Even though I'm extremely tired, I really enjoyed the daycation going to Atlanta. That was everything I needed it to be for the adventure that I was set out for myself. And then you all also joined me as I went down to Columbus once I returned to see my cousin gymnastic competition down in Columbus. So that was great. She placed 4th place overall, so that's good. That's 1 place higher than what she did the first time she tried, or the first time she went for competition. So I'm really proud of her. And it just has been a great time overall. Like I said, if you all do a daycation, have any tips for me or any place that I should try to visit, just drop me a comment below. I would love to check out these places, as there's always more to see. So as always, gorgeous people, go out there, create memories that will last a lifetime.